Inside the confines of Kot Lakhpat Prison in Lahore, life was a relentless battle against the odds. The barrack I called home was designed for 30 inmates, but the harsh reality saw almost double that number crammed within its walls. As the frigid grip of winter settled in, unfathomable occurrences would unfold beneath the blankets. That kind of night engagements, if you may. But amid the chaos, one peculiar story emerged, a story of love, compassion, and profound connection. This story unfolded around two young men, Chitta and Khota, both in their early 20s, both imprisoned for armed robbery. Chitta, the charismatic one, possessed striking good looks and a reputation that resonated far beyond the prison's confines. At just 20 years old, he had already carved a name for himself as one of the region's most dreaded dacoits. Numerous arrest warrants cast a shadow over him, and his gang met a grim fate in police encounters. They were systematically plucked from police station cells, instructed to flee, and then gunned down from behind by the officers. Chitta himself had faced a similar encounter during custody. He was taken out in the dead of night and brought to a desolate field. However, an inexplicable change of heart in the head officer spared him. The following day, he found himself on a journey to Kot Lakhpat Prison. Chitta's gripping backstory is deserving of a separate episode, one that would delve into the shadows of his criminal past. But for now, the spotlight was on the unusual relationship he shared with Khota. Within the prison's cold and callous environment, where empathy was a rare gem, Chitta's affection for Khota shone brilliantly. Their connection transcended the mere physical. It was a profound and compassionate love that defied the grim reality of their confinement. Chitta's affection for Khota was remarkable. He fed Khota with his own hands, tenderly groomed him, and assisted with even the simplest tasks like buttoning his shirt. However, it was during the unforgiving nights that their bond blossomed. Chitta would snugly tuck Khota in, leaving no room for drafts, and they would cuddle through the night, ensuring Khota stayed warm. In those long, dark hours, they found solace in each other's arms. I have nothing against a man's love for another man, but I must admit that I found their relationship somewhat perplexing, grotesque, and unusual amidst the harsh prison environment. Yet who was I to pass judgment or condone them? Love, in all its diverse forms, can find a place even in the most unlikely of settings. One day, as I walked through the prison courtyard, I was taken aback by the shocking news involving Chitta and Khota. The word had swiftly spread that Chitta had endured a severe head injury during a confrontation with Khota in the prison bathroom. The story was sketchy, and despite their initial denial, there was an undercurrent of tension that suggested a deeper story. It wasn't long before both Chitta and Khota were summoned to the warden's office to investigate the incident. Thanks to my connections within the prison, having discreetly greased the palms of several prison officers in order to reap certain privileges, including access to restricted areas normally off limits to inmates, I seized the opportunity to witness this unfolding drama. Initially, both Chitta and Khota clung to a common cover story, that Chitta had simply slipped and fallen, his head colliding with the unforgiving iron door of the bathroom. However, the warden couldn't shake his doubts, sensing a darker truth lurking beneath the surface. He signaled for the dreaded slapper, known as the chitta in Punjabi, a brutal instrument employed to mete out relentless beatings, typically rendering a person unconscious by the 10th strike. The first 5 strikes fell upon Chitta, yet he remained an unwavering bastion of silence, fiercely clutching onto his version of events. Then came Khota's turn, and remarkably, with the very first strike, he crumbled, unable to bear the pain, and confessed to the truth. Khota disclosed his desire to break up with Chitta, admitting that he no longer held the same affection. In response, Chitta, ensnared by despair, had clung to Khota, even resorting to threats of self-harm to keep him close. Their volatile argument had reached its zenith in that bathroom, where Chitta had relentlessly battered his head against the unyielding iron bars until his head cracked open. Khota was allowed to return to the barracks for the time being, though he would face 5 strikes as punishment for their transgressions. Sexual acts amongst men is deemed unacceptable, both by prison regulations and the laws of Pakistan. The warden, however, required Chitta's confession to proceed with more severe consequences and present him to the superintendent, possibly leading to his transfer to Block 5. Yet, Chitta remained unwavering, stoically enduring another round of 5 strikes, resolute in his determination to protect his version of events. On the following day, Chitta once again stood before the superintendent, facing an additional 5 strikes. Still, he clung tenaciously to his narrative, unyielding in his insistence that he had simply slipped and suffered a head injury. With concrete evidence lacking to convict him and relegate him to the dreaded Block 5, Chitta was returned to the barracks. That night, an indescribable tension permeated the air as Chitta and Khota occupied opposite corners of our barrack. Their once intimate bond had now been fractured, casting a shadow over their relationship. The following day, much to my surprise, Khota's name was called out in the evening. His bail had been granted. As he prepared to depart, he shared a silent farewell with Chitta, their embrace speaking volumes. Unable to fully comprehend the complexities of their relationship, I approached Chitta one day, hoping to gain insight into the tumultuous events that had transpired. He met my gaze with a distant expression in his eyes and offered a simple revelation loosely translated. "Bhaiji, I've fallen in love only twice in my life, first with a girl from my village and second with Khota." In response, I said, "Chitta, this is not love, it's a grave sin." His reply left me speechless as he remarked, "Bhaiji, look around you, we are all here for the same reason, none of us are virtuous." His exact words were, "Bhaiji, nazar gumao yahan koi dud ka dula nahi hai." And so, within the grim walls of Kot Lakhpat Prison, amid the complexities and contradictions of life behind bars, I realized that love, in all its forms, had the power to flourish even in the most unlikely of places. While I hold strong reservations against acts of homosexuality due to my faith's beliefs, I still respected the purity of their love, though I couldn't help but wonder if it was a result of the circumstances. Interestingly, the majority of my fellow inmates shared my initial objections to this relationship. However, as time passed, we all came to a shared perspective. Chitta and Khota had found solace in each other's company, a precious comfort that held immeasurable value within the confines of incarceration, especially in the darkest of circumstances. In the end, we found ourselves accepting the fact that at the very least, if only for a brief moment, Chitta had someone by his side. Thank you for watching AIK Dastan, where every tale is a testament to the human spirit and every voice resonates with the truth as they perceive it.